What is up, guys? Welcome to the Nailed It podcast. Super excited to have you here today. Welcome back. If you're watching on YouTube, you're going to see some awesome things today. If you're just listening on podcast, I'm going to explain to you as best as I can just through audio. So today I want to talk about roof repairs in San Diego and the different type of roof repairs we can do and then how we actually do them. So we'll start with a shingle roof, an asphalt shingle roof. Whenever we're looking at repairing an asphalt shingle roof, it really depends on why it's leaking in the first place. And so if it is leaking from penetration, it's going to be a little bit different than if it is leaking from an open roof or a valley. But for this instance, we'll just say that it's leaking just from a specific area in the middle of the roof. Anytime a shingle roof is leaking, first thing we're going to do to fix it is lifting up the existing shingle and the shingles that are damaged around it. So we're going to take those out, we're going to remove all the nails, see if the underlayment's damaged, see if any other shingles around it are damaged. Then we're going to remove all the shingles below it, all the way from where the leak is down to the eave of the roof. And the reason we do this is because whenever you have a leak, the water is going to continue to find its way with gravity down to the lowest point from where that leak starts. So we lift up all those shingles, we're going to cut out all the old underlayment from there as well, and then we're going to see if there's any wood damage. Most of the time, if it's just been leaking for a little bit, maybe from 1 or 2 rains, then it's not going to be an issue and the wood's going to be okay. But if it is damaged, that's the time we would replace it as well. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put new underlayment down, and then the secret special sauce we use on all of our repairs is called Titanium PSU 30, is the brand of the ice and water shield that we use. And that is a thick self-sealing material that is going to seal everything around it so well it's going to make it waterproof for years and years to come. So we put that down, and then we tie in the new shingles from there, laying it out in that staggered pattern to make sure that we're nailing it properly in the right nailing zone and it lines up ideally as close to the color of the existing shingles as possible if it's still made. So that's how we do a shingle repair. Number 2 is a tile repair. If we're doing a tile repair, usually it can be from a few different things, but usually it's from either a flashing, a penetration leak, or broken or slid tile. So in this case, we'll say it's a slid tile. If it's a slid tile or a broken tile out of place there, then it exposed the underlayment, and then it's gonna eventually start to have a leak just because the sun beating on that underlayment, cracking it up, and rain comes and it starts leaking. So very similar to the shingles, we're gonna actually start lifting up the tiles and taking out the existing underlayment all the way from where the leak starts to the bottom edge of the roof where the eave is at. Once we do that, we put new underlayment down. Underlayment on a tile roof is a little bit different than shingle roof. On shingle roofs, we use titanium underlayment, and on tile roofs, we use a couple different brands, but usually 2 layers of 30-pound UDL. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the new underlayment down there, and then same thing, we're going to use a PSU 30 ice and water shield at that point. That's going to make sure keep out as much water as possible over that leak area. And then we're going to go ahead and tie in the existing tiles. Now, a lot of the tile manufacturers like Monier does not make tile anymore. So sometimes it's impossible to find an exact match. And even if you were to find an exact match of that tile, the color is going to be vastly different because of the age of it sitting on the roof and getting sunburned over time. So what we can do is if the person that installed the roof in the first place left tiles, we can actually use the existing tiles there, or we can go to certain, we call them boneyards of roofing tile around San Diego to try to match it as close as possible. That's how a tile roof repair is done. Then when we're talking about commercial roofs or flat roof systems, we'll go for torch down next. Torch down roofs can be definitely tricky to repair depending on what's happening with the torch down roof. With the new chemical composition of torch down in California, due to regulations by the government, it actually doesn't weld as well to the metal. So a lot of the times we'll see the torch down where it is lapping over the metal starts coming up off of the metal there. When it's coming off the metal like that, what we're going to want to do is come back in there and retorch that, making sure that it is sealed for inches over that lap to make sure that no water intrusion is going to get into there. And torch down is actually an open flame on a roof. You retorch it. We're going to add some new torch material to that as well over any of the leak areas there. Then we're talking about single ply products. So single ply products is going to be the last one I'll talk about today. Single ply is PVC, TPO, Duralast is the big commercial brand that we use. And this roof material was actually a roof material that was first used for outdoor pool liners. And pools would hold water for years, while torch down would be about a 15 to 20 year system. These pools would literally hold water for longer than that. So the roofing industry adopted it. And with these materials, there's actually no open flame. It's actually welded with what's like a high temperature blow dryer. And so how you actually install it in the first place is you're going to clean both sides of the laps, the overside and then the underside. You're going to clean that off so it's completely clean, and then you weld it together, and then you're going to pressure press down to make sure that that welds properly. Now, a lot of times with these roofs, there's just a little tiny hairpin hole in one of the laps somewhere. This is why it's causing the leak. So when we go to fix any of these roofs, we're going to lift up that entire lap. We're going to clean it all, make sure it's super clean, and then re-weld it right there, and then water test it to make sure that there's no way that water is getting in through there. So those are just some of the repairs we do here in San Diego. There's other roof materials too that other parts of the country will use, like EPDM, which is very not common in San Diego. But if you have any questions on roof repairs, go ahead and reach out, give us a call. Happy to help you with any information there. And have an amazing day. Thank you for listening to the podcast or watching on YouTube. See you next time.